Hey there, it is Shanel here from The Heart and Soul with your weekly oracle card reading for June 15th through the 21st, 2020. We have chosen, or the universe has chosen, the Fairy Tarot card deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Beautiful deck. The minor arcana cards in this deck are all the seasons. So instead of the elements, which they often are, they're actually the seasons this time. And I apologize, although you may not be able to see her, my crazy dog is in my lap sleeping because she insisted she needed to stay with me, even though she's been laying with me all day. I'm going to take that one as our card number 2, and I'm going to draw one more card for card number 3. It is Father's Day this weekend on Sunday the 21st, so happy Father's Day to all you dads out there, all those stepdads and grandpas and uncles and all those people that step up like dads. You don't necessarily have to be biologically a dad to be a dad, so thank you to all of them, you great, amazing beings who are role models for our kiddos. So, all right, you ready? Card number 1, 10 of Winter. The resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off your shoulders, the end of an addiction or codependency. This card is interesting because it's winter to one side, and then as you move into the back end of the card, you start to move back into more of like a spring look with all the greenery behind it. So that's interesting. It just shows that shift from stagnation into growth. Our second card, it's a major arcana card, which represent major life changes, transitions, happenings kind of thing. So this one's the Hermit. Find or be a mentor. Take a break from society. A commitment to your spiritual growth. Interesting card. Very beautiful fairy here. You have the Star of David in this picture too, which is interesting that is in this one, and a beautiful staff. This card actually reminds me a lot of Mother Mary. So, all right, last card, card number 3, another card of winter. Winter are our cards that are more of about contemplation, and in winter we often hibernate and stay inside, and it's more about communication than it is about adventure. So 8 of Winter. You have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you are powerless when you are not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. So there's a lot of things coming up for me right off the hop. First and foremost, they're asking me to honor the movement that has been happening with Black Lives Matter. And I know that it's not just Black lives, although that is the biggest thing that we are talking about right now. And I don't want to talk that down in any way, shape, or form. But the fact that racism is so rampant is something that they want to address. The universe speaks to love and unity, and racism definitely does not represent that at all. They're saying we need to stand up in what we believe in and stand up for what is right in this world, as again, we have moved into this more heart-centered being, and when we're not aligning with that, things start to fall apart, as we saw with George Floyd's death. So they're asking you to be mindful and be aware of where you are aligning yourself in all of this. For some of you, you may just need to retreat because it is far too much to handle emotionally, and it's wearing on you. And it's okay to step away from social media, from media in general, and just take a step back to take a deep breath and to just feel the feels for a moment. Because for some, it's just too much. And that's okay. You can honor that. And it doesn't matter what race you are or gender or religion or whatever. You may find this to be too much, and that's okay. Again, you are allowed to feel how you feel. There is nobody that is going to stop you from that. That is yours to own. That being said, there are many that will stand up if what you have to say is racist. And that's what's important right now. They're saying that the community voice, the voice of coming together, is much stronger than those individual voices on their own. And that is why it is so important right now to gather our voices and gather our power together to be heard. We are louder when we are together. And that is really important in this movement. We need to make it clear to the leaders out there that the behavior that happened is unacceptable and cannot continue to happen in this world. Things need to change. And it is by coming together, it is by having a voice and being heard and not stopping until we have been heard, that will begin to create that change. Our children will live in a very different place than we did. And their children will live in a much more beautiful place than we did, as racism begins to be abolished. Wouldn't that be amazing? One day it will happen if we all can come together and we can all send love with one heart. It will shift and it will change when we begin to love ourselves. It starts here. We have to love ourselves and love one another. Love ourselves and love one another. So the other side of this, they want to talk on a more personal level. Again, they're speaking to this fact that there has been a lot of emotional turmoil over the last several months now. The pandemic, Black Lives Matter, self-isolation, social distancing, having to find a new way of living, of being. But they're also talking about that there are many that have realized where they are meant to be in this world. There are many that realized that they're not where they want to be in this world. There are many that have a greater understanding of what is important and what is not. There has been a huge global shift right now, this global awakening that has happened. And the whole George Floyd thing totally falls into this whole global shift, this global awakening, and it's all together. But what they're asking you right now is to stand up, to stand where you are and decide where you want to go and how do you need to get there. We don't need to know all the steps. We don't necessarily need to know the plan. But what is the next step you need to take? Who are the people you need to reach out to? What are the decisions that you have to make? Do you need to create some kind of plan, a business plan maybe, to figure out how to take the next steps? Do you need to forgive someone or ask for forgiveness from someone? Do you need to make connections with people? Do you need a mentor or a coach? Or do you just need business partners? Or do you need to find a networking group? Their universe is asking you to stop hiding behind the curtain, to stop. I keep on getting this sensation of kind of like pulling back and into the crowd. It's okay to step forward and step into who you truly are, who you are meant to be. And you do that again by loving yourself and believing in yourself. I had a great reminder this week about what we put out there is what we bring back in. And I said, I stink at selling myself. And I got scolded for it, and I'm glad I did. I'm so grateful, so grateful. Because what I was doing was putting something negative out there. And then I was self-sabotaging myself with that energy that I was putting out into the vortex. So I know that it's not my strong suit. But what I can do is rephrase that and reword it to create a positive spin, to start moving me in the right direction instead of creating, a rock which is holding me still. Or even worse, trickling me backwards. It is important to understand that our words create. Racism creates hatred and negative vibes that we don't need in this world. Loving yourself and loving others pours positivity from your heart and from your soul and creates the most amazing things. It creates a high and beautiful vibration, one that I know I want to be a part of. So big lessons this week, big lessons. Feel those feels, love yourself, take stock. Where are you? Where do you want to go? Important, what do you need to change in how you talk about yourself? What do you need to change? Can you create a positive spin on it? Lots to take in, my friends, lots to take in. Thank you for joining me today. As always, I am incredibly grateful that you have watched through to the end. I'm always grateful for a big old thumbs up, or even better, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and get these videos in your inbox each and every week. I do private sessions by video right now because of self-isolation. So if you're interested in finding a little more clarity for yourself and want a personal reading, please feel free to reach out. You can reach out in the comments below or DM me on my social media. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook. And yeah, again, thank you so much for being here and being part of my soulful journey and allowing me to be a part of yours as well. From my heart and soul, have an amazing week.